Good morning, BookTube, YouTube. This is Johnny. I thought I'd make a video. It is here in West Michigan. It is March the 8th. It is a Sunday morning, 8:52 in the morning. It's supposed to be almost 60 today, so we're coming into spring. And yeah, time keeps going by. Since the house is quiet, my wife left for church this morning. She sets up for coffee. So it's been 3 days since I have made a video, and I might as well make a video. I thought what I would do in this video is talk about, I think I mentioned in one of my recent videos that last week, Thursday, I covered for somebody at the Book Nook, the library used bookstore, where I have been volunteering for a number of years. And usually I do it on Fridays from 10 to 1 and Mondays from 10 to 1 at the Book Nook, the library used bookstore. But a volunteer asked if I could cover for him on Thursday from 1 to 3, and then he would cover for me on Friday from 10 to 1. I said sure. So I went in Thursday. And when I went into the Book Nook, which is just really close from where we live, the lady who runs the bookstore, Mary, was back from spending the couple of months in Florida during the winter. And she said, hey, there's a box of books here that you might want to look through. Mary knows I'm a book freak. She said, you might want to look at these books. So she pulls out this box. And she says, you might not want these books because there are books on books. There are books on book collecting, and there are books by bibliophiles, and books on collecting books, and book collectors, and rare book dealers. And I said, so I said, man, I really, I collect books on books. So she pulls out this box of books, and I looked through them, and I said, I would buy every single one of these books if I had the money. There was at least, 50, 60 books. So I went through the books in the box, and I wound up buying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them. Because some were really expensive. I did buy one expensive book for $10. The other ones I paid $3, $2, $1. So I thought I would show you these books. Books on books. The ones that, and I spent $35 on these books, which is a lot of money. But I couldn't pass them up, and so these are the ones I bought. This is one, Randall Jarrell. He was a poet. I have other books by him in our library, and this is his book, No Other Book, Selected Essays, Edited and with an Introduction by Brad Leithauser. And these are basically essays on poetry, poets and poetry. And so I picked that up. And all these books have nice slipcovers on them. These kind of really nice, they're all like in pristine condition. So I got that. And then I picked up, this is the book that cost me $10. But it looked really interesting. And this is by David A. Randall, who was a rare book dealer from 1929 to 1956. It's called The Dukedom Large Enough Reminiscences of a Rare Book Dealer from 1929 to 1956. There's a picture of him in the back. And has these nice little things inside, little illustrations. And so he was a very famous rare book dealer. And so I bought this for $10. And then this is a biography on a book. It's kind of like, I think what he did, he was a dealer in rare manuscripts for libraries and universities. His name was Rackenbach. Rosenbach, a biography by Edwin Wolf and the second with John Fleming. So he was like a, from what I can read, he was a the doctor, as he was familiarly known to collector friends and employees for decades, bought most of the important rare books and manuscripts sold at auction in England and America. So he was a dealer in rare books and manuscripts. So pick that up. This is another memoir, Memoirs of a Bookman by Jack Matthews. This is published by Ohio University Press. So these memoirs are the reminiscence of Jack Matthews, his adventures in seeking out, collecting, and reading old and rare books, along with reflections upon time, memory, and other mysteries. Then I got this book. Casanova was a book lover, and other naked truths and provocative curiosities about the writing, selling, and reading of books by John Maxwell Hamilton. And then I picked up a book by Michael Dirda. I have other books by him, and he's a bibliophile, he's a book lover, and this is his book, Bound to Please, an extraordinary one-volume literary education by Michael Dirda, essays on the great writers and their books. And then Morocco Bound, Adrift Among Books by Edwin, Valentine, Michael. This is really an old book, 1929. Book about books, about people who buy them, who sell them, who read them, who collect them. Gay anecdotes and much wisdom from one of America's best-known bookmen. And this is a little fascinating little book, The Devil's Details, A History of Footnotes by Chuck Zebra. It's all on the history of footnotes, which I found very interesting. And then I picked up this book, Between Covers, The Rise and Transformation of American Book Publishing by John Tebbel. I like reading about the history of publishing in America, books, magazines, journals, newspapers, things like that. And it's only $2. This book was it looked kind of interesting. It was $3. Isaac Disraeli on books, pre-Victorian essays on the history of literature, selected and edited by Marvin Spenbeck. So yeah, there's different essays, like just all kinds of things about books, publishing. I don't know, it just looked really interesting. Then I got the book, The Story and Printing and Bookmaking Illustrated by Douglas C. McMurtrie. Yeah, it's all about bookmaking and book printing and the book binding, and so I bought that. So these are the books I got. I could have bought a lot more. She said she's going to sell these in the spring library used book sale, so I might buy some more of those, but these are the ones I got. Yeah, The Devil's Details, A History of Footnotes. I've never seen a book on the history of footnotes by Chuck Zeba. We got that. Morocco Bound, Adrift Among Books. See, it has a really old illustrations in it. And Bound to Please, Extraordinary One-Volume Literary Education by Michael Dirda. Between the Covers, The Rise and Transformation of American Book Publishing. No Other Book, Selected Essays. These are mostly essays on poetry by Randall, Jarrell. Then we have this like memoir by David A. Randall, Dukedom Large Enough, Reminiscences of a Rare Book Dealer, 1929 to 1956. Memoirs of a Book, Memoirs, did I say memories? Memoirs of a Bookman by Jack Matthews. This is a biography on a rare book and manuscript dealer, Rosenbach. And then Casanova Was a Book Lover by John Maxwell Hamilton. So those are the books I picked up last Thursday at the Book Nook. I just thought I'd show them to you. Now I gotta find room for them. Yeah, I haven't made videos in 3 days. I've been reading. I finished that book on opioid, was it opiate, Indiana. I finished that little novel. I've been reading that book on nonfiction by Robert Stone, Writing in My Diary. I started reading last night that novel, The Parisian, by Isabel Hammond. And I read almost 100 pages of that last night. And reading Canon Covenant and Christology, Rethinking Jesus in the Scriptures of Israel. I've been reading in the mornings. And I'm still letting Voldman rest, The Lucky Star. Yeah, I was reading The Eye You See With, selected nonfiction by Robert Stone. So the days go by. So I hope you had a good reading week last week and having a good Sunday. It's a new week and going into spring. Tomorrow I volunteer at the Book Nook. Maybe some books will come in. I have books set aside at the Book Nook. As far as my diary, I'm on page 246 this morning. And yeah, so I'll sign off. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for the comments. Yeah, until next time, bye.